Hi everyone, this video I'll be discussing how I got a 5 on the AP World History Modern exam, as well as a 100 on the New York State Global History Regents exam if you're from New York. What I say in this video is applicable to both of those exams. However, I'll mostly be using AP terms and focusing on AP, but they do work for both exams. Now I'd like to start with essays because I think that's what many students, including myself, struggle with the most. I actually was pretty bad at essays at first. The first graded DBQ I think I got a 3 out of 7. And then a few weeks later in class, I actually did even worse on the second graded essay. So this tanked my grade. Obviously, I wasn't happy about it. But then I started using ChatGPT. Not ChatGPT to cheat on the graded assignments. Don't do that. That's really stupid. But I use ChatGPT to help me study on my own time. And how this would work is like this. So let's say I want to work on my evidence paragraphs in my DBQ. So I would plug in a thesis into ChatGPT and also a document. Or you can have ChatGPT give you a thesis and give you a existing historical document. And you need a thesis because your evidence needs to be with respect to a thesis. And you need a document because obviously where's your evidence going to come from if it's in a DBQ, right? So then you start typing your evidence paragraph, submit it to ChatGPT, ask it for feedback. It'll give you some things. It's generally okay at like giving feedback, but that's not the important part. What is the important part is to have ChatGPT generate you a full 2-point evidence paragraph. And then the most important thing now is to compare your response to ChatGPT's and think about what makes ChatGPT's response better than mine. Is it the wording? Is it the logic, the structure? Just all the things that made ChatGPT's better than yours. Take note of them, think about it, and make it your own. And then do it over and over again. Like a new thesis, new document, just keep doing it until your responses get closer to ChatGPT's. And ChatGPT is really, really good at writing these essays. Like I'm amazed. Like they go above and beyond what College Board expects, and that's a good thing for your studies, right? Because you want that above and beyond, like a model for your responses. Aside from AI, you can and probably should also use Heimler. Heimler has these really great DBQ and LEQ videos on YouTube, and I use those. I found them very helpful. And of course, listen to your teacher as well. But just listening to your teacher or watching Heimler videos or practicing with ChatGPT, that's actually not going to get you as far as you think. What you need to do is come up with your own template. Heimler has a template. That's all he talks about in his videos, basically. And your teacher has a template. That's what they've been teaching you in class. And ChatGPT, while they don't explicitly teach you a template, ChatGPT also follows some sort of template. And all of these templates are going to get you a really high score. Like there's not just one template that will get you a high score and the others don't work. You need to come up with your own template. Based on all the information, based on all the sources you got, find something that works for you. Now, make sure that it's still like completely on the rubric, right? But create your own template. That's what I spent so long trying to do. I spent quite a few nights coming up with my template for a DBQ and then my template for an LEQ, but it worked. My grades in the class, once I started using these templates, it shot up, right? So it works, and also it worked for my friends too, because some of them came to me asking how my essays improved so much. I gave them my methods, ChatGPT, and then also creating your own template, and they agreed. Their scores also started to go up. So that's essays. Basically, use ChatGPT to help you, and also use other sources and combine them to form your own template. Now, regarding actually studying, my class, we used a textbook called Ways of the World. It's a green textbook. I think it's pretty popular, actually, for this course. For review, I used Princeton Reviews, AP Review. I also got the Barron's book, but I completely wholeheartedly recommend Princeton Review over Barron's. And that's because the Princeton Review book, it is structured in a way that College Board structures the course, but Barron's, it does not do that. Also, um, the I just found Princeton Review's explanations text to be clearer, more helpful. So yeah, definitely I recommend Princeton Review over Barron's. For uh, actual studying, like the gaining knowledge part, our course was quite heavily reading based. I'm sure a lot of you also have a heavily reading based course. But you can't just read the text. Like reading it over and over again, it's not going to help you. What's important is to actively take notes. So in my notebook, um, I would just do bullets of main ideas, and sometimes if it's really important, I'd star it or highlight it. I used yellow highlighter for the important parts and the green highlighter for definitions. In fact, the point of taking notes like this, it's half so that you can come back to like get a summary, but also half to make it stick more. Because I'm pretty sure research shows that if you were writing something down and actively summarizing, you're going to remember it way better. So I'll show you what my notes look like. So you can see there's the yellow highlighter, the green highlighter, there's bullets, there's a few arrows, that sort of thing. So this book is actually my book dedicated to the Princeton Review book. I have two notebooks. One's for in-class stuff, and the other is for my Princeton Review, like private study session, that sort of thing, like with the Princeton Review book. And I recommend this. It helps to make you more organized, separate those two books a little. I just found it helpful. Now, as the exam got closer, I actually started like making these mind maps in the notebook. So what these are, it's kind of like a cause and effect chart. Like I just, like right now I'm flipped to Unit 3, Land-Based Empires. And what I have is Black Death ends, and then an arrow drawing to population of Europe increases, which then has an arrow going to demand for goods and services increases. So you can see there, like I have that. So this really trains you to memorize the cause and effects throughout world history. And that is something that College Board loves to test you on. Like it's in multiple choice, it's in SAQs, and it's definitely in the essays. So this is a really important thing to figure out. It's not just straight up stuffing all the information into you, but you need to understand how all the events tied to everything else. So yeah, if you're taking AP World this year, good luck. It's a fun course, and I hope these tips help. Good luck. Hope you get a 5.